As the presidential sweepstakes heat up, reforms advocated by the NCPA continue to lead the public policy debate. Just ask former House Speaker and candidate for the Republican nomination, Newt Gingrich. Stepping up his campaign this week, Gingrich said on Rush Limbaugh's radio program that he will soon unveil a massive plan to reform health care based on the policies developed by NCPA President John Goodman.
In the speech I'll give next week in New Hampshire, I'm going to outline the patient power model that John Goodman has been building, and I'm going to suggest that we want to apply the 10th Amendment to return most of these decisions back to the states. We wrote a book several years ago called Patient Power, and we began meeting at the American Enterprise Institute on these ideas about 2001. And he's really, I think, probably the leading student of developing a personal freedom approach to how you solve the health problem.
And while he's not a candidate for president this time around, Fox News Channel host and former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee agrees with Gingrich about the value of NCPA free market reforms.
I truly believe that when we talk about reforming the healthcare industry, that at the foundation of a good, solid policy that puts people really in charge of their own lives, there's nothing better than the idea of the health savings account, which all of you in this room know was the brainchild of Dr. John Goodman. He is the father of health savings accounts, and it is an innovation that we need a great deal more of.
The perfect storm of public policy issues that John Goodman has identified, healthcare reform, entitlement reform, and the taxes to pay for them, are also on Huckabee's mind. He said at the most recent NCPA Sumner's Foundation Distinguished Lecture, it's bad enough that taxes are too high and rising. What's even worse, the system is broken.
Currently, we have a tax system that is completely, totally out of touch with the realities of an economic system.
Huckabee, himself a former governor of Arkansas, said that while the perfect storm is brewing on Capitol Hill, the solution is to be found in the states.
I just feel like that we are in a time when the solutions are not going to necessarily come burped out of the culture of Washington, where in many cases people have been there so long they've forgotten what it is to sign the front of a paycheck and to understand what real life is about.
NCPA President John Goodman echoed Huckabee's comments on Fox Business News, alerting seniors that Obamacare will severely cut spending on Medicare.
And those spending cuts will mean that what Medicare pays doctors and hospitals will fall really below Medicaid before this decade is out. So the senior citizen will be less desirable than the welfare mother, and both of them are going to have severe trouble finding doctors who will see them.
So how important is it to find a solution for this perfect storm, and soon? Congressman Jeb Hensarling was asked that very question at the most recent NCPA biannual briefing.
When your gross debt to GDP ratio reaches 90%, bad things start to happen. Historically, you begin to lose economic growth, typically a percentage point, which means in the post-war era, as we have averaged 3% of economic growth, we are in danger of losing 1/3 of our economic growth by carrying this debt burden. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, the needle has hit the red zone.
The next question for Representative Hensarling, how much time do we have?
I think as a nation, we have something like 2, 3, 4, maybe on the outside max, 5 years to get this right. Although otherwise we may wake up and we may find ourselves to morph into France without the wine and art or Greece without the Parthenon.
Hensarling said free market solutions like the reforms advocated by the NCPA are the right way to solve our problems.
Our answer is to make sure that everyone has skin in the game, they have consumer choice, and we use the power of competition to drive down cost and to increase innovation. It really comes down to that choice.
For more information about the NCPA, please contact us. You can call us or send us an email. We want to know what you think. And thanks for your support of the NCPA and the important work we're doing.